Hello everyone, this is Jackie Williams. In this video, I want to share with you the mosaic technique. This was shared recently on Split Coast Stampers and I thought it was fun and wanted to have a play. So for the sample today, I'm going to be using the Spotlight on Nature stamp set, and then I have some more samples to share with you at the end of this video. So first, let's take a piece of basic white and we will stamp the flowers. I'm just going to stamp them once or twice for this demonstration. Then on a separate piece of cardstock, I'll stamp the butterfly. They stamp out so nicely. And then I'm going to color. And I'm using the Stampin' Blends. Now I'm just doing a fairly quick coloring job, but if you want to learn more about using Stampin' Blends, in the video description I have a link to a Stampin' Blends masterclass. It's not just about coloring, it's lots of different techniques and different ways you can use your Stampin' Blends. Okay, then for the butterfly, I think I'll go for the yellow, the Daffodil Delight. And maybe just add a little bit of peach pie. I quite like the yellow and the peach together. Okay, now we'll set that aside. Actually, before I move that, I'm just going to add a little bit of Old Olive ink down here at the bottom. And then I have Balmy Blue. I get a lot of that off. And I just want to add a little bit of Balmy Blue in through the blank space. It's okay to have some white areas. And I don't want it perfectly smooth and I don't want it very dark. So I'm happy with that. I know it probably looks just the same, but when we put it on top of white, you can see that there's actually quite a, a color difference. Okay, then to do the mosaic technique, what we're going to do is take our stamped piece and we're just going to slice it. So I've got about 3 3/4 inches. So that is going to be 1 1/4 inches 3 ways. And then I'm going to keep them together. And for this one, I'm just going to cut them into squares. So again, 1 1/4 inches. And it's helpful if you keep them somewhat in the right order, I should say. Then I have a slightly larger piece of white and I have embossed that with the exposed brick folder. And then we're just going to place these onto this background, spacing them out. Actually, I probably should have sort of laid it out before I started gluing, but fortunately the glue doesn't dry that quickly. And there we go. That is how that background works. And here is the finished project. So this is one obviously I've done earlier. Colored that one in Highland Heather instead of the pink. And I cut out the butterfly, added a little bit of the iridescent ribbon behind, a little word, and mounted that onto smoky slate. Now for this one, I stamped the flower a few more times, and I also didn't cut them into squares. I cut them more into irregular rectangles. So either way works. So that's what the mosaic technique looks like. Now I have a few other samples to share with you. So this sample's using the blooming phrases, and this one will be available as of 5th of May 2025 if you're watching this video before. And I kept this one quite clean and simple, but still a fun technique. In fact, clean and simple cards are probably my favorite way to showcase techniques. I've cut that out with the Spotlight on Nature circles for a different shaped effect, and then just kept the color very minimal. Now for the embellishments, I've used these new ones. These ones are becoming a fast favorite, and they're this pretty in pink and strawberry slush foil gems. Okay, and then for my next sample, I used the Layers of Beauty. This one's been around for a year at least, and is definitely a favorite of mine. And this is Million in Sales Achiever Shelley Godby, and it's quite beautiful. And I made a slimline card with this one and did this in pink. I was kind of in a pink mood today. I made a lot of pink cards and accented that with black. And I went a little bit crazy with the stamping, colored on the inside. And then I made a matching envelope and stamped on that, and then stamped on the flap. So it's all very coordinating and beautiful. And this one I did in regular shapes, as in all the shapes are the same size, but they are rectangular rather than square. And then for my last sample, I used the new Sunrise Sailing stamp set, as well as the beautiful gallery papers, which I just adore, and just made a very simple 8x8 layout. And I've used the papers here for the sails. Now for the mosaic technique on this one, I cut them in very irregular shapes on purpose, and then even put them on a little bit not perfectly straight, just for that more of that mosaic look. And I quite like how it turned out. And it's a little bit abstract with these rectangular irregular shapes being the water, but I quite like the effect. So there are my samples to share with you with this very fun and easy technique. You don't need any extra tools. All you need is your trimmer, or even a punch if you wanted to use that. So thank you so much for joining me. Please leave me a comment, share this video with your friends, and of course subscribe. This is Jackie Williams, and I'll see you next video. Bye-bye.